r/askreddit. Redditors with sows who talk in their sleep. What is the creepiest thing they've said?
Too many Asians here. I'm Asian.
I'm Asian. That's not the kind of thing you should keep a secret from yourself.
I talk in my sleep regularly. One instance comes to mind. My so said she was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. On her way back, I said it's following you and went back to sleep.
Then your so continued walking out of the room, down the stairs and to the front door, got in her car and left.
The only reasonable thing to do in this situation.
She started shaking me and yelling that the financial reports don't match. She's an accountant.
Oh, I feel this as a fellow accountant.
Same LMAO. Was stressing out too much about my cash flows that I had a dream I got fired because of it.
I come in to go to bed, lay down, and I'm about to turn the bedside lamp off. Cue him turning over, eyes still shut, obviously still asleep. Don't turn the light off. I'm confused now. Why? They need to see. Now, I'm freaking the F out wondering who is in our bedroom that I haven't noticed. Who needs to see? The bugs. Why do the bugs need to see? To read? This happened months ago and I still haven't let it go.
This is kinda cute. Imagine little bugs all reading T3 inny little books.
I'm imagining that Roach, who sits at the tiny table eating a Krabby Patty, but instead he's sitting in a tiny chair with tiny Roach reading glasses.
My wife doesn't talk in her sleep, but I did wake up once to her sitting up, leaning over me and staring at me paranormal activity style. It was terrifying, and she has no recollection of it.
I woke up to my wife screaming the most horrifying, blood-curdling scream I'd ever heard. Something made her wake up, and in the faint moonlight that was seeping in through a gap in the curtains stood a small figure less than a foot from her face. It was our son wanting a drink, but he had decided to stand next to her, head like a mannequin, until noticed.
This is honestly the thing that makes me the most anxious about having kids. I hate being scared, and I am very easy to scare.
Soft, creepy laughter, and then immediately propping up at a 90-degree angle, saying it's all part of the show, then going back to sleep.
I was laughing at something in a dream once, and it creeped out my girlfriend, so she shook me and asked why I was laughing. I answered the purple people as I was waking up, which freaked her out more. The dream had people with weird skin colors and clothes, and in the moment, nothing in the world was funnier to me than a purple man in a turquoise suit standing next to a turquoise man in a purple suit. I had trouble explaining that while I was conscious...
that would look pretty funny.
Wild women everywhere. My girlfriend.
I'll have what she's having.
Sleep.
Well, at least I don't have Alzheimer's. She's acting like a bitch. Of course I stole her Valium.
Were you missing Valium?
But were they acting like a bitch, though?
My boyfriend once cupped my crotch in his sleep and said 2 out of 5 stars.
Brutal after.
My fiancé is super active while sleeping. It used to bother me, but now I'm used to it. One time I asked her to give me her pillow while she was sleeping, and she said, "Okay," and then pulled it out from under her head and threw it at me. She slept the rest of the night without a pillow and was quite pissed when she woke without a pillow and after I told her what she did.
My so frequently moves around the pillow and the covers when she's asleep, often resulting in her not having a pillow and not letting me put one under her. The first time she did it, she called me a snake for stealing the pillow. I'm still not sure if she fully believes that it's not me.
Apparently I'm the opposite. According to my so, while dead asleep, I reached over, yanked the pillow out from under her head, threw it off the bed, and continued snoring contentedly. Unrelated, but on another night, I apparently rolled over, put my face right near hers, and, as she describes it, snored right into her face, for an hour.
I was told by my so that I said, give her a lobotomy right through the temple.
I hope your so is not a neurosurgeon, because I'm pretty sure through the temple is the scenic route to a lobotomy.
Initially, he just mumbled something I couldn't understand. I turned around to face him and asked him what he had said. He responded in his sleep, "Don't worry about it," and then laughed in this villainous way that I've never heard him use while awake. It honestly creeped me out.
Divorce.
He. I'm the slept talker, but the best I've ever been told about was, no, none of them have heads.
She said, "Don't leave me for $3.
I need about $3.50.
My girlfriend will do this every so often, But this one time she was having a really bad nightmare, and she just straight up screamed at the top of her lungs right into my face. I woke up with an adrenaline rush that is still my closest guess for what cocaine feels like. I woke her up by stroking her hair and whispering to her that it would be okay, and she thanked me the next morning.
I was on business travel years ago in Europe with a co-worker for several weeks. Over the weekends we travelled to various tourist spots. One weekend we stayed at a chateau. It was pricey, so we shared a room that ended up being on the ground floor and overlooked the garden courtyard. She neglected to tell me she had night terrors. Middle of the night, pitch black. I'm in an unfamiliar environment, and I wake up to screaming that there's somebody in our room trying to get her. I have no idea where the light switch is, or the door, or anything. I had never been so scared in my life. At least not until this summer when we were on vacation in Colorado with the windows open and we were serenaded by wolves right outside. Waking up to that and thinking it was some kind of screaming and knowing my young son was on the other side of the house left me unable to sleep for hours.
My girlfriend fell out with me while she was sleeping one night. She asked me to pass the light-up picture frame, and when I asked her what she was talking about, she shouted, "Fine, I'll get it myself," and actually started walking about the room looking for something. It's not really creepy, but I don't get a chance to tell the story often.
My boyfriend has PTSD from his time in the Marines and what they did overseas. The other night I had my arm around his waist and he patted my hand and said, "You're never going to make it out of here. You're just another casualty about to happen. You're going to die, and luckily we're married because you have life insurance. We're not married, LOOLLL.
Damn it! Agent 417 has leaked the plans in his pitiful sleep-talking. Yes, I will have to terminate him.
My fiancé is Chinese and didn't have the best upbringing there. It is common for her to yell in a distressed tone in her sleep random Chinese phrases. Absolutely terrifying the first few times experiencing it. Now I just kind of cuddle with her a little bit harder when it happens.
This is interesting. My parents immigrated from China, and my mom whimpers and screams in her sleep. Once when I was young, I heard her scream in Chinese, "Save me, save me, save me, save me, save me," and literally start sleep crying after. As a kid who slept with her because I was afraid, I would sock her in the arm to make her stop. LOL.
Put it away. Now, this was only our 4th night sleeping together, and I didn't even have anything out.
Sure you weren't trying to rub one out?
Is it okay if you leave your D in your pants and jack off so your hand is slapping against the front of your shorts?
Kill the riders. My brother once woke me up screaming a number in his sleep. None of us could understand the significance of this number. Today I learned a rerun of Mythbusters came on. It was the length of track from when they raced toy cars as real cars.
The numbers, Mason, what do they mean?
Reznov isn't real.
Woke up to go to the bathroom one night. As I moved to get up, my boyfriend goes, "Don't go out there." Thinking he's awake and joking with me, I go, "Oh yeah, why?" He sits upright, eyes wide open, and goes, "She's out there," and flopped back down asleep. I held it for the rest of the night.
My girlfriend will walk to a window and say they are watching us and just look at Street Lamp. First time it was really creepy. Now I just say it's bedtime and likely pull her back to bed before she stands up.
You need to hire a priest.
I'm not sure what's more terrifying than you're so sitting upright and saying they're here only to collapse back into their deep slumber.
So it looks like the ancient ones have pierced the veil separating the realm of dreams and waking world. Rejoice, for the end of this human age is finally at hand.
If I have to go out, I want to go out eldritch as hell.
Not so, but my son came into my room while I was napping, and I said, "We need to decapitate them and take them back to the lab."
You're not actually his parents. He's a kid genius who made robot parents to replace his real parents after the accident. I guess there must be another kink in the memory replacement process. This is like the 3rd batch she's replaced this week.
My mother loves to still bring this story up. Happened back during my 8th grade year of school. One morning she walked in to see if I was awake, so she asked, "Are you awake?" So she asked, "Are you awake?" To which I apparently said, "Fuck, I don't know, is it meteors all while dead asleep?"
I apparently shouted for my mom at the middle of the night, and when she came running, apparently all I said was those pineapples. Those effing pineapples. I don't normally swear either, so I have no idea why I suddenly got passionate about her fruit.
Not my so, but still kinda funny, but very scary at the time. So little me had a nightmare and went to my parents' room to tell my mum and get a cuddle so I could go back to sleep. I knocked on the door and opens it very quietly so only my mum wakes and not my dad. since Mum is a very light sleeper and Dad a heavy one. I get in, and at that moment Dad jumps out of bed and shouts, "I do not want to see you here again." I fled up the stairs and cried, and Mum followed me and told me she didn't know what happened either. Dad says he doesn't remember it, but I sure do.
Father, with little kids here. 3 a.m., kids kicked me in the face on accident. I flipped them over and spanked them. My wife tells me about it the next day, and I feel bad. I'm sure your dad felt bad. I'm sure your dad felt bad too. Some people are just deep sleepers, I guess. I remember waking up to water being splashed in my face. It turns out I was over the sink, splashing water in my own face after just having sex with a stranger sleeping next to me. How could I cheat on my so? So I slowly turned my head to see who I just hooked up with. It was my so. After that emotional roller coaster, I'm instantly asleep again.
Oh my god, I had something similar. Not the water part, but the emotional guilt and fear from such a realistic dream of infidelity. I haven't ever considered cheating on my wife. I just was super horny in my dream, and Olivia Wilde was looking extra fine. I was watching a lot of House at the time,